Hey, welcome to Books, Builds, and More. I'm Travis, and today I'm doing the 8 Questions for Readers book tag. I was tagged by Jess at Jess Book Girl TV to do this tag, and the tag was created by Robert G. Reader of Books. And there are 8 prompts, 9 if you count tag others at the end, so let's get started. Prompt number 1, what is your favorite kind of food? Seafood. I love any kind of seafood, but I also love breakfast, and I especially love to make omelets. Every once in a while, I make different kinds of omelets. My favorites that I make are usually Greek omelets, fiesta time omelets, Western omelets, but I also enjoy the occasional Japanese souffle pancake. Prompt number 2, what is your favorite kind of music? I like all types of music, really. I was a music major for the first 2 years of college, so I really love classical, jazz, any movie soundtracks, because it's mostly orchestra and stuff. But growing up in the 70s and 80s, I'm really fond of the classic rock era. And in the 80s, I like a lot of different 80s style music genres there. And not fond of rap at all. Cannot stand it. That's about the only thing I will not listen to. Occasionally there might be something hip hop or rap, that might be tolerable for me, but on general, no, I'm just not into that. But almost any other kind of music, yeah, I'll go for. I actually especially like 50s and 60s doo-wop. I've been listening to a lot of that lately. Actually, my Sirius XM has really been off the charts lately. I've also been kind of tuning into the 40s Junction on Sirius XM, so yeah, I like that too. Prompt number 3, if you were prevented from reading ever again, what would you do? Well, if something ever happened to prevent me from ever reading again, after the initial hysterical meltdown, I guess I would just, no pun intended here, but pick up the pieces by just continuing on with some of my other activities like building Lego sets or puzzles or, just kind of building things and, doing my photography that I'm kind of starting to get into, but not doing a whole lot with right now. So yeah, there are things to do that if I was ever prevented from reading again, but I wouldn't go into audiobooks. I just could not do that. Not that I'm against them, because I have done them before, but I have to actually physically read. I can't just listen to an audiobook because it just becomes background noise to me. I wouldn't retain any information if it were just the audiobook. I'm weird. Prompt number 4, what is your favorite city? I'm gonna have to go with Dublin, Ireland on this one. The only major U.S. cities I've ever visited were Nashville, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and I guess you could count Orlando in that. But other than that, I'm not really a big city type person. However, in college in 1996, we were invited to march in the St. Patrick's Day parade in Dublin, Ireland of that year, and we got to go on that trip, and I loved it. We did a full tour of Ireland, coast to coast. And Galway was another one that I liked, but I have to say Dublin was probably my favorite. Now, we did spend the last 2 days of that trip in London, England, and as much as I did like London, I have to say Dublin was by far my favorite city that I've ever visited so far. Prompt number 5, favorite beverage, alcoholic. Being diabetic, I can't really imbibe a whole lot. It's really not healthy. It's not a good idea. However, I do occasionally enjoy the social drink, but usually not too heavy. And if I had to go with something alcoholic, I guess back in the day, I liked the Margaritaville Landshark lagers. Those were okay. And I don't know if I'd call it a favorite, though. I really don't think I have a favorite in terms of alcoholic, because I'm just simply not that big of an alcohol drinker. Prompt number 6, favorite beverage, non-alcoholic. Again, where the diabetes comes into play, I have to be careful with what I drink and eat for that matter. But I used to being in the South, I used to love the sweet tea. Can't have that anymore, so I usually get unsweetened, with a sugar substitute in it. So I kind of like that. I can enjoy that. But for the most part, it's usually just water for me or black coffee. And because I can't drink too many juices, I'm not really fond of just drinking milk, but I usually use almond milk a lot of times anyway, which I can't drink by itself. It just, but I love it in cereal and stuff. But yeah, I think green tea. I think I can have like just the hot green tea. I like that. Prompt number 7, favorite time of day. Ooh. Well, I work evenings at my job, so I'd say my favorite time of day, which may sound really odd, is late at night. I don't get home until after 11 p.m. Eastern time. So what I like to do is when I get home, I get my shower and then I get ready for bed. But I love falling asleep watching old black and white movies or TV shows, whatever's on. There's just something about a black and white program on the TV that's just kind of calming and comforting and just lulls me to sleep. I don't know why, but that's probably my favorite part of the day, is just where I get to come home, unwind, relax, and just finally get a good night's rest. Prompt number 8, favorite season. Oh, easy, spooky reading season. Oh, you mean actual season. Yeah, the fall. I live for the fall. And the last prompt, tag others. And I have 2 channels I want to tag, Albert the Conjugator and Books with Rafi. 2 channels I definitely think you should go check out. Give them a like, subscribe, all the usual BookTube love. And if you've stuck with me so far, this was a fun tag to do, and I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.